Welcome back, everyone. The Latino vote, as you've all heard since Tuesday, broke strongly for President Obama, 71% to 27% for Mitt Romney. That's the biggest Democratic advantage among Latinos since 1996, and with Latinos making up a larger and larger portion of the electorate, especially in those crucial swing states like Florida, Nevada, and Colorado, among others, Republicans are asking themselves if it's time to reevaluate their strategy. It even got noted, conservative columnist Charles Krauthammer, to suggest the GOP take a look at amnesty. Now, these comments came just after the election.
I think Republicans can change their position, be a lot more open to actual amnesty with enforcement, amnesty everything short of citizenship, and to make a bold change in their policy. Enforcement, and then immediately after, a guarantee of amnesty. That would change everything.
We also saw, I would call it a flip, but he said what was it, a role reverse?
He evolved.
He evolved. That was Sean Hannity here. Well, let's bring in our next guest to sound off on this. Marcela Berland, a political strategist and president of Latin Insights. Were you surprised by the spread at the end of the day?
No, not at all. We were seeing these trends early on, and I'm surprised by the fact that the Republicans weren't able to do something before. We conducted, my company, Latin Insights, conducted a poll in February where we saw clearly, in our poll, we had 70% in favor of President Obama at the time among registered voters, and then Latino registered voters, and then we had like 14% for the Republican candidates. Mitt Romney wasn't nominated yet. And the second day after we published it, we did it with Fox News, I got a call from someone from the Republican Party complaining and saying, this is impossible, how could it be? Republicans really care about the economy, they don't care about immigration, this is not gonna happen. And he kept arguing that the poll was wrong, and I kept thinking, well, this is it. If they
the numbers are right, exactly.
They're arguing with the numbers.
I guess my question is, why? I mean, they broke in Democrat, but McCain did better. Bush did better.
It has nothing
was
to
it
do,
Dream Act?
You know, there were a lot of reasons, and Latinos don't vote as a bloc because we saw with President Bush how he got nearly 44% of Latino vote. What happened is that during the primaries, as you may recall, all the candidates, including Mitt Romney, were very much attacking Latino voters and Latinos in general because they were against immigration reform, they were against the DREAM Act, and even though immigration wasn't the most important issue for Latino voters, because if you can vote, you don't have an immigration issue, it was, and it is, continues to be a very emotional issue, and Republicans weren't able to ascertain that. So they were thinking, if the number one issue for Latino voters is the economy, I could care less about immigration, you know, so I'm not gonna really.
I would also guess Arizona and Alabama, their policies of, prove your legitimacy kind of thing here, that certainly didn't help matters either.
Well, no, not at all, because as you may recall, Mitt Romney and Rick Santorum were very much in favor of Arpaio, who
Papers,
is,
please, right.
The sheriff and all his policies, even though the Justice Department was investigating his unfair policies towards Latinos.
What I'm shocked is, how could anybody have been surprised that this was coming? I mean, I didn't, obviously, she's an expert in the field here, but you didn't even have to conduct a poll to know they were in deep trouble, but they seemed that they were caught off guard by the margin. I look at you, Mr. Republican.
I know you did. I think our party buried their head in the sand, and they said, look, we know we have a problem. There's nothing we can do about it because our candidate's on the record, as you said, of having made some bold statements, to put it kindly, during the primary. You can't walk those back. So let's not worry about it. Let's worry about other things.
Let's keep this conversation going right on the other side of the break. Stay with us.